We definitely got to roll on this because we got a little hair love.
The real life,
real life hair love right here.
Oh yeah. Hey, you don't know nothing about this, Hatch.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
to Getcha Popcorn Ready with T.O. and Hatch. We are in the building. We got a special guest, Hatch.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to call you Hatch, and I'll call him Matthew because I think
Yeah.
it's only right and appropriate because I feel like his accolades really outweigh any of your accolades. When you have someone coming on here as an Oscar winner, then your name takes a back seat. So you're going to be Hatch.
So today I'm Hatch.
Yes, and I'm going to address him as Matthew Cherry.
Okay, so who are you today? So do I get to demote your name today as well? Because you're just, I mean, is Hall of Famer, Oscar award winner, and then it's just me, little old Hatch.
Hey, there's no way you can.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, coming up on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast with just Hatch and T.O.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking to Matthew Cherry today, man. As I said earlier, I don't know much about the guy, but I'm looking forward to chopping it up with him. Obviously, the only thing you guys share is the first two names, the first name, and that's about it. I'm looking forward to talking to a football player, fellow football player. Now, movie. I mean, in a sense, to me, it's a movie star. When you win an Oscar winner, bro, that takes you through the stratosphere.
Yeah. He's on the other side. Again, like I said, he started back in 2004. I was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was a rookie on Jacksonville. And he came in, like I said, played on practice squad. I think he had maybe played with 3 or 4 other teams, and then took a little detour on his future, kind of tried to figure it out, and then he went on to become a director, producer in the entertainment business. But now that you say, like I said, when you win an Oscar, you're not just in the entertainment business. You're one of the top names ever to be in the entertainment business. So he's a rock star right now because in 2020 he won the Oscar for Hair Love, and that kind of puts him on a whole different planet. So coming up, ladies and gentlemen, my boy Matthew Cherry on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. Subscribe
Absolutely.
on the
I know what name I'm throwing out if I go into some meetings. Oh yeah, my boy Matthew Cherry. Yeah, I know him. I know my boy Matthew Cherry. Yeah, and don't get it twisted. I didn't say Matthew Hatchett. I want everybody.
If you say my name, they definitely gonna give you the job. You say my name.
They might close the doors on me. I say Matthew Hatchett. Like no, don't get it twisted. Matthew Cherry. Matthew A. Cherry.
They're like, who's next?
Right.
Hey, and don't forget to subscribe on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, no doubt. And when you see us posting on all our social media platforms, especially IG, don't forget to subscribe, swipe, and share. Because as we say on here, sharing is caring. No doubt. And also, obviously, we release the audio version every Tuesday on both of our social media Instagram accounts. But you can also see the video version of these podcasts on my YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Terrell Lawrence. So definitely keep locking in, keep tuning in, and let us know what you think about the show. We're newbies in this thing. We're trying to find our way. We feel like we got some great guests coming in on the show. We're trying to, come up with new content, but we're trying to keep everybody informed. We're keeping ourselves informed. So keep tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's been tuning in so far. Definitely stay locked. Get your popcorn ready with T.O. and Hatch.
Coming up, our boy, Oscar award-winning Matthew Cherry. Yeet. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. It's your host, Hatch, with my boy.
Yep. This is T.O. in the building. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready.
There you
Once
go.
Again, we got a very special guest. All of us have played wide receiver. Hatch, you have.
Look, I'm glad you froze.
I don't really know much about Matthew Cherry, so I'll let you do sort of extended intro as far as introducing this guy, but I'm gonna be educated a little bit on this podcast about this guy right here. So I'll turn it over to
you know what that's right. We both the real Matthew, because you don't know anything about nothing. So we go educate you a little bit on football, and we go educate you a little bit on the entertainment business, because you don't know what you're doing in both. Because, you know, we've had athletes on the show, we've had Olympians, we've had comedians, but today we have the Academy Award-winning director, producer from Hair Love, Matthew Cherry, is in the building. What's up, young fella?
What's going on, y'all? How you doing?
Oh, man, you know, we're just trying to live this little COVID life, stay safe, stay out the streets. That's about it, man. What you been doing during the downtime?
Man, just really busy, man. Just trying to get these projects off the ground, and man, it's just in a lot of ways, it's the best of times, and it's obviously the worst of times for a lot of people. So, you know, trying to stay humble, stay working.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna tell you, let's set the stage for you guys a little bit. So, me and Matthew Cherry played for the Jacksonville Jaguars together back in 2004.
Yep.
Again, I was a kind of a wily vet, and he was the young snotty-nosed rookie that came in. But again, taking us back to 2004, so I admit I got cut that season. I think you got cut that season. But as you know, we kind of talk on this show, we talk a lot about transition. So kind of tell us, like I said, what happened after 2004? Where'd you go after that? And then how'd you make kind of half the transition to go into the entertainment business?
Yeah, man. You know, I signed as an undrafted free agent in 2004 with Jacksonville, coming from University of Akron. You know, Jacksonville at the time had some, you know, it was pretty deep, you know, on a receiver pool. And, you know, Jimmy Smith was still doing his thing. And, you know, after I got cut during camp, got signed to the practice squad, was there most of the season, ended up signing an active roster with the Bengals, and they were even more stacked. Ended up getting released, you know, bounced around, did a brief stint in Canada, wasn't really feeling it, came back, did a stint in NFL Europe with Carolina, ended up getting cut because a lineman got hurt. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
And then I was really just ready to give it up and try to move to LA and New York and get into entertainment. And I got like that last call that, you know, oftentimes guys get where it's like, hey, you know, training camp coming up. You know,
what do you do? Yeah. Do you take one last shot, or are you moving on mentally? Yeah.
Yeah. And I tried it, you know, worked out for the Patriots, didn't work out, and ended up signing with the Ravens during training camp, and then ended up getting released again. And I was just kind of like, all right, you know, I lived in mad countries and cities in a 3-year span. I'm just kind of ready to get into my, you know, my transition. And I ended up hearing about this program called Streetlights, which was this production assistant training program in LA. And, you know, I'd never been to LA. I didn't have any connects out there. And it was really my end to try to get into the industry. And, you know, I majored in radio, TV broadcast. I was always interested in film, you know, even when I was playing. And I was just like, you know, I'm going to just take this shot, you know, and try to get my foot in the door on the ground up. You know, moved to LA in 2007, PA'd on shows like Girlfriends and Heroes, big show on NBC. And started directing music videos and just trying to work my way up, man. And, you know, it's just been a journey, you know.
What was your first music video you directed? Who put you in the game?
the first one, I don't know how much time we got, but I could tell that story how I broke in. But
tell it. Absolutely, that's what we're here for, brother.
All this happened was going on in like 2004.
Yeah. I signed with Jacksonville in 2004, played 3 years, and then LA came in 2007.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I was getting ready for the Super Bowl around that time.
Super Bowl 39. Actually, the Eagles played in the Super Bowl in Jacksonville in 2004.
In Jacksonville.
Yep.
Yeah. Just threw a little nugget out there.
Hey, nobody, John, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cared about your little nine catches for 130. Tell him, Cherry, nobody care about all that.
You know what I'm saying? It was to be exact, it was 9 for 122.
Hey, but who's counting, right, T? But who's counting?
Exactly. Who's counting? So Matthew, carry on.
I love it. No, man, for me, like, I was a production assistant, for a whole year, and, was digging that, seeing that it really wasn't as diverse as it could have been. I got lucky working on a black show, Girlfriends with Mara Brock Akil. But then when I went on the NBC series Heroes, really one of the few black faces on it. And, that was kind of more representative of what production was in general and kind of still is. And for me, this particular show that I was on, Heroes, the creator of the show, Tim Kring, he was a big fan of The Wire. And he had ended up hiring like 2 or 3 directors from that show to do an episode. And this was kind of before this whole wave of inclusion that we're seeing now. And so it was Seath Mann, it was Anthony Hemingway, and this other director, Eric Landeville. And that was my first time really seeing Black directors like get a chance to like do these really huge like superhero type shows that, you know, were from white creators and, you know, typically weren't very diverse in their hiring. And that just was so inspiring. You know, I found myself every time they were directing, I'm a little closer to Video Village than I would be for other directors.
There you go.
You know, trying to kind of learn and kind of see how they were getting down. And, you know, long story short, I ended up basically because I was the last PA hired on that show, I went to all the department heads and was like, yo, I'm like really trying to get into directing. You know, I noticed like we have all this equipment kind of laying around the set. We shot on the Gower lot. And I was like, you know, basically I went to them and asked them if they'd be cool with me borrowing some equipment, you know, if I could put up a shoot, you know, on the weekends. Long story short, man, you know, they were really cool. You know, they let me borrow some equipment, you know, on the low. You know, if I got caught, it was on me. You know, I had to take my shot. And basically, MySpace was the popular social media network at the time.
Wow,
and,
MySpace.
Yeah. And what I did was I ended up subscribing to like Billboard magazine and YouTube was pretty new at the time too. And anytime a new artist would chart, I would just go on YouTube, check and see if they had a video. And if they didn't, I basically, during my off time on the show, I would write a treatment a day in the trailer during lunch. And I would send the treatment to the artist that I saw on Billboard that didn't have a video. And I'd be like, look, my name is Matthew Cherry. You ever heard of me? You know, I'm reaching out kind of blindly, but, you know, I've heard the song. I got this dope idea for it. You know, if you can get to LA, I'll shoot it for you for free, you know, essentially just to kind of get that foot in the door. And, you know, the only thing I ask is that, you know, if you dig it, you know, just pass the word and kind of help me get the next one. And, you know, did that for like a whole year. Wasn't a lot of people reaching out or responding because, you know, there were no verified accounts or anything. And so the first person that responded was this artist, Terry Dexter, who was really popular kind of in the mid to late 90s. She had this song I noticed on her MySpace page that was like a song with a montage of like Obama's like inauguration, you know, so clearly it was like clearly she wants a video, but she didn't have the actual components to it that you know would make it official. And I reached out, we ended up collabing. You know, the second video was same it came the same way through MySpace, through Kindred the Family Soul. And they are the people that put me on with like all the Philly artists like Jasmine Sullivan, you know, Wow, Music Soul Child, like all these kind of neo soul artists. And the third video that I did was for the song "In Love with Another Man" by Jasmine Sullivan, and that was the one that like went viral and kind of really got.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
Is that one on? Is that one like get you the most YouTube hits now, or is that a thing that you even go back and look at now?
Yeah. That at the time, that one was the most for sure. There are definitely a couple other ones that have come after that ended up being a little bit more popular just because of who the artist was. But yeah, at the time, you know, it hit 1 million plus views like the first week, and she ended up getting a Grammy nomination for the song too.
That Jasmine Sullivan go hard, boy. They got that song "Love by You."
Yeah. What you know about "Love by You," man?
I'm just telling you. Hey, Matthew, know about it. Ask him. That's your boy.
Already. Okay, so let me go back to the NFL a little bit. So during the process of you, I want to talk about the transition even more, like getting cut. Like, you know, did that light a fire under you to do something bigger after the NFL? Because as you know, like I said, you know, The Rock, he has the same type of story. Terry Crews, like they have the same type of story. Like when I got cut from the NFL, I knew I was going to do something bigger. So did that kind of gear you towards to just entertainment, or you kind of did you fall in like I'm searching for anything in life type of moment?
No, man.
Right. Was there like was there a down period where you were trying to search, you know, as you were saying, it was a down period where you was kind of trying to figure everything out?
Oh man, for sure, man. I mean, you know, you guys know, man, it's like when you make it to the league, you know, it's like it's such a rare group of individuals that get that honor, you know, and you have to be so good in college to even get to that level. And then like when you get there, and you know, it happens to everybody, you know, whenever your time comes and you do end up getting cut, it really messes with your self-esteem. You know what I mean? Like and in my situation, I really felt like a lot of it too was like political. It's like how you come into the league. Like sometimes you may be on the wrong team and they got like X amount of people here, and now they need another alignment or something, and they ain't even really got anything to do with you. And so for me, I always knew that I was good enough, but I knew being an undrafted free agent, a lot of things outside of my control was going to have to happen for me to stick and stay. And, for whatever reason, it didn't happen for me. And, but I always was interested in entertainment. I remember when I got cut that first time because we had Hard Knocks filming. I don't know if you remember that. In 04,
I do. I do. I remember the walk to the general manager's office, and the camera was following me, and I wanted to turn around and punch him in the face. Exactly. I remember that.
Oh, you got cut on camera?
I got caught on camera, and I was hot, but I was trying to play it off. We just sit there and smile and say thank you. Oh, that's not what I wanted to say, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh man, that sucks. You're a loser.
Wow. See, you're kind of a bully. Kind of a bully, T. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, T, did you ever get cut, T? Did you ever get cut from a team? Did you ever get cut?
No.
Okay, so this is the equivalent. Yeah, so this is the equivalent to. So me and Cherry know how it is to get cut. So it feels like when Andy Reid called you and said, "Don't come back to the facilities," it was the same thing. So shut your butt up.
Nah. I was on a paid administrative leave. Until further notice.
Right, until further notice. So, but yeah, go ahead, Cherry. Go ahead, get back in it. Because again, it's because that trend, that moment, again, the feeling of no identity. Not sure what my next move is. Of course, 99.9% of all professional athletes go through that, not just football players.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, for me, it was just one of those things. Like, luckily, I studied radio, TV broadcasts, and media production in college. I was always into it. For me, it just kind of fueled that fire where it was just like, all right, I'm gonna try this out for a couple of years. Maybe I'm gonna try to get to the average, that 3-year span. If I didn't feel like I could really stick and stay, I was gonna give it up. And I'm really thankful for that process, though. It really shows you what it's like about competing on the highest level, and how political sometimes things can be. You could be a great player, but if the chemistry doesn't work out, or if things are kind of bigger than you. Sometimes they don't work out, and sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it isn't. And all that stuff, ties in directly to the entertainment business.
Right. And again, because, like I said, T, we talk about this a lot. Like I said, we've had Strahan on here. Like, we had a lot of other small school players.
Wiley.
Right. So again, small school, like I said, not going to Ohio State, Alabama, it kind of puts us in a box of, we still don't care. We're going to compete. Right. With the best of the best, and we feel like we have to work harder because we're coming from a lower totem pole. How does that translate now to the entertainment industry? Because we know that's the exact same thing. Again, if your uncle wasn't Spielberg or Michael Mann or Michael Bay, you have a tough road ahead of you here in this industry when you don't have that uncle or cousin behind you, shooing you in for a project or two.
Yeah, man. For me, it was just like the league, man. It's just all about hard work. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like trying to train for the combine. And it's like, if your 40 time is in a certain way, you can work on your form, you can work on your technique, and you can get right. And I think it's a similar thing with entertainment. For me, I started like literally at the lowest level as a production assistant, and just being on set and learning and kind of seeing what people were doing right, seeing what people were doing wrong, and just just put in my time. Like I always feel like in any field, like you need to get those 10,000 hours, so that you can become an expert kind of in that field. And that's what I did, just learning and making mistakes along the way. And eventually you get to a point where you feel really confident in yourself that you can take it to the next level. And that's what happened with me in entertainment.
Right. Who is your mentor in the business? Like who do you feel like you learned the most from, and kind of you lean on?
Man, I've had some great people, man, like Ava DuVernay was awesome. A person who I came on. I kind of came into her life really early in her transition from. She used to be a publicist, and she transitioned into being a filmmaker. And I met her like right when she put out her first movie, like right before it came out. and she's been amazing. Jordan Peele is somebody who I worked for a couple of years at the same time when I was doing Hair Love, and he's been so great. He gave me my first opportunity to direct an episode of TV. You know, I would say those two for sure are like kind of the biggest mentors, I would say.
And now again, so you transition to 2020. Now everybody's looking at you like, yo, this happened overnight. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, this is a, 12, 13-year process. Yeah. And now that they're looking at you with these type of same admirations, they say you look at Jordan Peele as, like, now they're looking at you. So what do you feel like your responsibility is to all the other upcoming filmmakers that you're coming into contact with now?
Oh man, for me, it's just all about reaching back. You know what I mean? Like I wish that when I was coming up, there were people that were like looking out for me kind of in the same way. I think now like more and more people are being more conscious of like, all right, we got to like reach back and open the door for more people to come in kind of after us. I think, like in all businesses, like I think sometimes people think like I'm the only person that could be here in the space at one time and I'm gonna try to box everybody out. But, the reality of it is that there's opportunities for everybody. And, there's so many talented people out there that deserve to get their stories told. And, sometimes it just takes a little bit of an encouragement or allowing access and being like, yo, you want to come and hang out on set a little bit and kind of see how this goes down, or, just whatever you can do to try to open up that door, I think is really crucial. And that's really what I've been on.
Yeah. So what goes in? I know you've directed a number of things. So you mentioned storytelling. What goes into the storytelling, or what motivates you, or what inspires you as far as a direction of your directing? I know you've directed episodes of The Red Line, The Last OG, Mixes, and a lot of that. Speaking of where we are today as a country, you've directed these things dealing with racial. Police shootings, educating Black children about encounters with the cops. And how important is it to have entertainment and a person like yourself, being a Black man, addressing some of these issues from a Black person's or Black man point of view?
Man, it's so important, man. I mean, sometimes like, even as recent as I would say 10 years ago, like, a lot of us weren't given the opportunity to be on these sets and to tell these stories. And I think what you're seeing now is that the more of us that get in the door, you're seeing a little bit more authenticity kind of coming from that, because we're able to like better call out, when the BS is there, and also like when it's authentic. And also, I think it's also a level of comfort for the actors, because a lot of times like, they're telling these very Black stories, and if they don't have people that look like them that are giving them the direction and kind of making sure that they're not taking it too far, or it's not looking, or if it's looking too like clownish or cartoonish or whatever, I think that's the biggest job for a director, is just to make sure that you're having the actors back and making sure that they feel comfortable kind of in the work they're doing. And for me, I take great pride in that. And I've been lucky to work with people like Tika Sumpter, Anthony Anderson, Tracy Ellis Ross, and great actors like that who are so talented, but everybody wants a little bit of direction and kind of making sure that they're on point, Yeah,
because as a director, you kind of toe that fine line of, being the actor's friend, the actor's psychologist, psychiatrist, all that. So it's like when you're gonna end up working with some bigger, white prominent females, pretty much even males, and they have to play that racist character. It's like that'd probably be I think the hardest your job will ever get. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of coach somebody to be a racist, even though they're white, but you have to have them be a racist. I mean, I'm sure there might not be nothing in your pipeline for that, but wouldn't that kind of be like that story probably be the hardest that you could probably get as far as, trying to create a character?
Yeah, man. I think it's all the thing about that I found about directing is like it's all about just everything being rooted in like truth, and everybody doesn't see themselves as a villain in their story, and I think as long as you're able to like ground different things and have different anchors, any performance can come across as authentic, even that of a racist. I was an executive producer on BlacKkKlansman with Spike Lee, and man, just seeing him work on set and literally just like coaxing these people into like go further.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Real enough. It's necessary work, man, because he was trying to really shine a light on the Klan and like how they get down. And, these actors, they know that this is a character that I'm playing. And, sometimes they feel a little self-conscious about it. But, when you're an actor, sometimes you got to do the dirty work,
Yeah.
And some of these guys probably not even acting.
Well,
they're not acting like they're acting, but they really not.
Really not. I think a different world.
I know you talked about. Yeah, I know you talked about. Again, I heard you earlier. You were talking to Hatch about. You mentioned something about superhero movies and things of that nature.
Yeah.
What do you have in the pipeline? I guess Marvel comic. On the horizon, because like I said, I'm gonna shoot my shot because I have the body of a superhero.
Nobody's trying to hear all that, man. You on the phone with two other dudes. We don't want to hear about your body.
Cherry. Hey, this is Matthew Cherry, not Matthew Hatchett. There's a difference here for the people that are listening. I am addressing Matthew Cherry, Matthew A. Cherry. At that, not Matthew Hatchett right now. So if you need Matthew, if you need to DB me, you can do that. I've done some acting, just as my acting skills may not be, or acting roles may not be as extensive as producing career and things of that nature. But you do have some talented guys here on this podcast. So again, like I said, I can start at the bottom. If you want to put me at the bottom of the totem pole and allow me to work my way up. But I do have some acting skills, some acting ability. So if you have any roles, please.
I got one for you.
Consider me.
I got one for you, T. So we go put you on the spot.
No, I'm not listening to you.
No, I got you. So T, so Cherry, if we were gonna do the T.O. life movie, who would you have play T.O.?
Ooh. Oh man.
We would go do we're gonna take his career and he was gonna be a superstar athlete. Let's say he goes through some ups and downs and goes on to the Hall of Fame career. Tell his story with some ups and downs in there, but who would you have as a character playing T.O.?
Man,
we put you on the spot right now.
We put you on the spot, Cherry.
That's a hard one to think off the top of the head. I mean,
because he looked like an alien. You know what I'm saying?
I can always play myself too. So I am a character, and obviously, like I said, I'm gonna talk while you think, while you ponder, while you casting me in your thoughts. You can. I mean, you look at my career again. Honestly, you said I admire that you took these courses. You said radio, broadcast, media, all this stuff in college. Me personally, I had no idea that I would have become the player that I did on the football field, and obviously Hall of Famer, and now here with Hatch, hosting a podcast. But when you think about entertainment, I think, like I said, that's something like people, I guess, probably toward my eighth, and I guess toward the 7th or 8th year of my career, I had people from really from management, our PR department, as they saw me grow from like a rookie. Now I'm in like year 8 going to year 9, and I'm with the Philadelphia Eagles. But everybody started to see my growth as far as my maturation process, for us, how it was my rookie year, being in front of the camera, and then when I got to the Cowboys, and probably around like year 10 or 11, I had a Calvin Hill, Grant Hill's dad. He was working with the staff there. And so he had followed my career, up until this point. And he had come up to me. He had been following the things that I had been doing, and watching, how I was with the camera. And he basically said, because, man, one day you could have a career on camera. He goes, man, your camera presence is nice. He's like, y'all to explore. So I've done a few things here and there where I've, like I said, I guess, attempted, taking my stab at acting and things of that nature, and from the directors, talking to a lot of people when I've gone on set, getting that feedback. Like I said, I don't claim to be I'm definitely not an A-lister, but my experience on set, it was a little awkward because, like I said, now I'm stepping into a different role, realm than I'm used to, but that confidence as a football player and things that I learned through football, it kind of helped me being on camera, being on set, and just having that confidence. And then just taking direction was something that I kept hearing from the PAs, from the directors, like, man, you take direction very well. If I was doing something not well enough, or I need to take it up a notch or take it down a notch, those are some of the things.
Great. You think he froze on yours too, Cherry?
Yeah.
Foresaw myself doing, but acting is it's a different ball of wax, especially trying to bring a character to life.
Yeah.
Have you worked with any other athletes, Cherry, during the process so far?
Yeah, man. I always try to, especially in my movies, man, I always try to get at least one athlete in there. I worked with Doris Moss on my first film, The Last.
Nice.
I worked with Thomas Jones, running back for the Bears and the Jets, on my second movie, Nine Rides. But there's so many. I mean, there's so many great football players that are like getting into acting now. And the thing that I noticed is like, and I'm sure T.O. and Hatch, you both can relate to this. It's like, for whatever reason, when athletes try to transition into something that's outside of sports, a lot of times it's like looked at a certain way. Like people kind of already are like judging you, and like not giving you the benefit of the doubt. And like in my experience, what I've seen with so many guys that have moved to LA and are pursuing acting is like, these are some of the most hardest working dudes that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? And like, and a lot of times like they put that same effort and hard work and work ethic that they had being an athlete into the work of whatever their new craft is. And I don't know, man, it's just weird to me that people don't give athletes the benefit of the doubt. If you can work hard in that field, of course you'll work hard in this field too. So.
Because it's like, I hate that perception because, for example, in training camp, you guys know we would get a playbook like this, right? And we have that thing memorized in 2 or 3 days.
Right.
But they're going to give us a script and they're going to look at us like we're not going to study it. And I'm like, I'm going to have this script down in the next 24 hours. But again, the perception is, he's just going to, look, you're not going to look at it. He's not going to be prepared tomorrow. Like, the athletes are going to be probably over prepared, especially because we don't know, the landscape of this business. So I kind of ran into that a little bit a while back as well. But again, it's that perception, not only in the entertainment, but I think it's that perception across the board as far as even getting into your coaching and scouting in professional sports, right? In the business world as well. I'm sure a lot of the retired and ex-athletes are going through the same thing. But I mean, people out there, they have to understand, like, we're going to probably be over-prepared and over-qualified for that job. So you guys need to give these athletes, a little bit of, a better chance.
And I think a lot of it too is that, now we're entering into their arena. And now they feel like, okay, well, you haven't had enough experience. You don't have enough hours under your belt to transition into where these seasoned actors are. But again, as you said, Matthew, Cherry, we work hard. We know what it takes, what that entails in order to complete the task, get the job done. And again, like I said, we may be starting, not with the experience that the years of experience that some of these actors have, but that doesn't mean that we can't act. And as we all know, there's a number of great actors and actresses, in Hollywood. And it's not about what you know, it's who you know. There's a lot of great actors out there that can probably act just as good, if not better, than some of the people on the big screen. But again, it's one of those, you have to pay your dues in a sense. But I don't think it should be that way. Again, if you find somebody that can, obviously bring a character to life and they can, obviously bring your project to fruition, then why not?
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, right here on Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast here with Matthew Cherry, Oscar award-winning Matthew Cherry. So let's go back to that to the reason you won the Oscar, right, for Hair Love. Where'd this whole idea come and how this whole process go when that project came about?
Man, for me, Hair Love was like, animation is something I've always been interested in. Even though I'm like not the best at drawing, I know animation is kind of a medium as opposed to like a skill set necessarily. And I don't know, for me, I noticed a lot of young Black kids not having a lot of characters that they could look up to in cartoons and a lot of times in the movies at the time. Mind you, this is 2017, so this is before Into the Spider-Verse. This is before Coco. This is before Moana. And you know, it was dire. You know, at the time there was only 3 movies in the 100-year history of film that featured Black characters in lead roles. There was Princess and the Frog. It was Princess and the Frog. It was Bebe's Kids, and it was this movie Home from DreamWorks that starred Rihanna. And you know, media is so powerful. These young kids are so impressionable, and when you see these images of like only a certain type of Black woman being portrayed in the media, only certain types of Black men, you know, so often Black fathers get such a bad rap in film and TV. Like they're always depicting us as deadbeats and not present, and you know, all abusive and all these other crazy. And you know, Hair Love just felt like a really great opportunity to like showcase a young Black girl who has this really big hair, who loves her hair, and also her father who, you know, is willing to do whatever it takes to try to make sure that she's happy. And then you see kind of towards the end of the film, the greater reason why they both went on this journey. And, you know, just kind of trying to showcase a Black family in animation was really the biggest goal, and just to try to normalize Black hair, you know?
Right. Now that has also, go ahead, T.
Yeah. No, I was just saying too, even, you know, obviously you're talking about these Black roles in Black movies. I think Hollywood has done, I think with this whole Black Lives Matter movement too, obviously it's shifting and it's affecting a lot of things in America and in our country. But in Hollywood, I think what is so unique, which is will bring about more opportunities for more, you know, Black actors and actresses, that, you know, they have these characters now, these animation, that these Black characters have to be cast by African-American people. So I think that's awesome. Especially doing a lot of the voiceovers and things of that nature. I think that's going to bring about, like I said, more of people of color, you know, Black and brown, to the big screen or what have you, or just, you know, just job opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
And now Hair Love, it's not but the short film, it's not stopping there. Aren't you guys going to do something and taking off from there as well?
Yeah, we're turning it into a TV series. So HBO Max picked it up. This new streaming platform under Warner Brothers. And so we're doing a 12-episode season with them. And, you know, we're going to have to cast it up. And right now we're in the middle of writing it. That was the call that I was on before I had to hop on here. Just trying to lock down some things.
There you go.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great.
How can I get on the casting list, man? You got some spots, you got some roles.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to, you know.
Yeah, if you get rid of your face.
Hey, that's cool too. You got to start somewhere. You see how I turn that negative to a positive, Matthew Cherry?
I see it.
That's what I do. You know what I mean? It's constant hate, you know, from this guy right here. You know what I mean? But it's all good. So listen, everybody, listen. Welcome to Get Your Popcorn Ready. We got it popping. We really got it popping. We got the real Matthew Cherry on this piece.
The real deal.
Yeah, no, man, we're real early in the process, so still trying to write out some of the episodes, but we should be casting hopefully later in the year, and you know, definitely keep you in the loop for sure.
Now you want to kind of stick with TV, or you want to get into movies? You want to do the Pixar, Disney films? Or you want to do it all? What's your goals for, you know, like say you're directing and producing?
Dude, man, it's a little bit of everything, man.
Me, I would like anything.
No, not you. Not you. No, we're not talking to you. You will be in the back.
My bad. I'm sorry. I thought I was a guest. I thought you were asking me.
No, man.
My apologies.
See what I got to deal with, Cherry. See what I got to deal with, dog. Man, this guy.
No, man, it's a little bit of everything, man. You know, I've been lucky enough in my career to be able to like do a little bit of everything, you know, music videos, live action movies, television directing, animation now. And, you know, luckily enough, you know, a lot of those same opportunities are still being presented. So, you know, in a perfect world, you know, I'll be doing an animated feature. You know, I booked a live action feature called The Come Up. That's supposed to hopefully start shooting, God, who knows when, you know, with this whole thing, but hopefully sometime later next year with Jermaine Fowler and Lil Rel and the Lucas brothers. It's kind of like a comedy heist film I'm really excited about. And, you know, got some animation stuff in the works too. So, you know, it's just a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah. It's like in this business, it's like, you know how they used to say in football, right? The more you can do, the longer you stick around. It's
Exactly.
so real because again, you could be directing this project, producing this project, writing on this project.
Yep.
So I want the audience to understand, like I said, if you're really engulfed in the business, like you're gonna have to do more than just one thing, and you have to be ready to pivot at any time. Because again, it's like, I've produced movies, I've done some acting, I've never directed anything, but I do want to direct, one day. That would be great. But you
gotta hang on set, man. You gotta come hang on set with me one time.
I gotta watch you get down. You know what I'm saying? I gotta watch you get down, man. That's the goal.
Hey man, while we're talking about just transitioning and I just happen to just think about like who is probably your most proud individual of your accomplishments, because I can't imagine, like I said, I don't know anything about your mom and dad or anything, if they're together or not together, or if it was just your mom or just your dad, but I can only imagine how proud they are to honestly see their son, I guess, fulfill somewhat of their high school or their kid dream of playing football, and now here you are, Oscar winner, you're on TV, you're doing all these things behind the scenes. Who is like your most proud individual or family member?
Oh man, definitely my family, man. Both of my parents passed away, but a couple years back. Yeah, but my my sister, she's really, really big in my life, and my fiance, she's everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a really cool. I got a really good support system, man. As you guys know, your team is so important.
Yeah.
The people that kind of help make the wheels turn kind of behind the scenes, and I got a really great, strong team.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very important. Very important in this business, to have good friends, good family, and because as this business, and even especially in sports, you're always saying, "Well, I'm going to go do this," but the goal is so big, people rarely believe you. Right. They don't believe you. And it's like, unfortunately, like you just have to keep going. You got to keep plugging away. You got to keep. I'm going to the league. I'm going to the league. I'm going to win an Oscar one day. You got to keep telling yourself that. Everybody who doesn't believe that, you got to get them off your boat. Because they'll help sink your ship if you don't get them off your boat.
Bro, it's crazy. It's so crazy, man. Like, so back in 2016, I watched the Oscars, and like I had never really thought about it before. Like, oh man, I'm gonna win an Oscar or anything like that. But I remember watching the Oscars in 2016, and I paid attention to the whole show. And normally, you just watch for best actor, best director, best film, and I watched everything. And I remember seeing like best editing, best sound mixing, best documentary short, like all these categories that so often we just totally ignore. Yeah. And I remember watching animated short and being like, and then I having this idea, and I remember I called my manager like literally that same night, and I was like, I got an idea, and I was like, if we do it right, I think we can win an Oscar. And I said this back in 2016. Awesome. And the fact that like we actually were able to make it happen is just the craziest thing, man. It's just like, you gotta believe, man. You gotta believe.
Definitely. That's awesome. And again, like I said, on behalf of myself and Hash, man, sorry for your losses, but again, the people that I'm sure have inspired you. You talking about your sister, your fiance. Obviously, that's everyday motivation, man. And just hearing that story, obviously, watching TV, and you never know how an individual can be inspired, and just by you watching that. And again, as you said, I've watched a bit of the Oscars too. And again, some of these smaller, nominations, they kind of just go overlooked, because we also look at the big nominations,
movie of the year,
right, and things of that nature. So they kind of overlooked or what have you. You kind of just do things around the house. You're eating, you're talking to friends, you're kind of entertaining, and then you hear that big award nomination coming up, then you're paying attention. So, man, we appreciate what you're bringing to light for all the listeners here, people that are hopefully motivated by Matthew Cherry's just his aspirations, his inspirations to be now, again, to go from football, obviously this kind of reminds me in a sense of what Kobe has done, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and again, you look at what Kobe did, being a basketball player, then, he wins an Oscar. So again, this is huge, man. So it's definitely motivation, not only for just athletes in general, but just people of color, people that want to be inspired and have aspirations to, again, because how LA is. There's so many people that migrate to LA that wants to be on the big screen, behind the screen. And then again, they have so many obstacles, so many turns, ups and downs that lead them either to their goals or away from their goals. So man, I appreciate what you've done, man, especially with your continued effort and path and journey to Oscar winner. That's awesome.
Oh, appreciate you, man. Seriously. That's great.
So I know we usually do a little top 5 segment, but today I'm going to see if we can get 3 out of you because I know it's kind of a harder category. So give us 3 of the top athletes turned entertainers or turned somewhere into the acting or directing that used to be, like an athlete. Could have been college because some of the guys just played college ball.
Yeah. Oh, man, no, this is an easy one, man. I mean, you got The Rock.
Okay, The Rock got to be on the list for sure.
You got The Rock, you got Strahan.
Okay,
Hand up there.
It's controversial as his name may seem.
No, I can't. I was gonna try to think of somebody that ain't that name.
I know you were OJ.
Oh, OJ. I mean, OJ. I mean, look, OJ, Kareem.
That's what I'm saying. You got to think about some of these guys.
Who are you thinking about, Cherry?
No, I was trying to think of. I was actually trying to think of my man that was a writer on Ballers, Rashard Mendenhall.
That's right. He is deep in the biz. He's a big time writer out here.
Too. Yeah, but I mean, there's so many guys, man. I mean, when you really think about it, it's really awesome to see, man, Cass being able to get that transition. But I was actually thinking about Terry, but you brought up
Terry Crews. He. You know what? That's probably who should play T in the T.O. movie. Done. Perfect.
Not.
Oh, that's perfect.
Absolutely not.
That's perfect. Y'all look alike. Y'all built alike.
No.
Y'all
First of all, we're
both look like criminals. Y'all been locked up for 25 years and been.
You're racist, dude. You're racist. You're racist. You're racist.
How am I racist, man?
You're racist because you think that all black people look bald-headed guys.
Just you and Terry.
No,
just
bro,
you and Terry. Nobody else. Just you and Terry.
No, you're racist, dude. That is not right, Hatch. That is not right.
Oh, that was
all
perfect.
These listeners, man, I hope we don't lose. I hope we don't lose subscribers listening at this BS that you putting in their ears right now.
Nah. You know who I was thinking for you, Terry. I mean, Terry was I was thinking of the young dude that's on that show All American, Daniel Ezra, that played.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We got to get his weight up, though. We got to get his weight up, though. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking he could play like a young version of you.
Yeah, the young version. Yeah. He got that. Yeah, he got that hatch body right now. He got that hatch body. You know what I mean? No definition, no tolerance. The potential. It's like the potential is there. The makeup is there. Just hasn't really developed yet.
I stay camera ready. I don't need no makeup.
Matthew Cherry, I would agree. He could play the younger version, like the high school kind of transition, high school to college. Terrell, you know what I mean? I got that. Yeah.
That's funny. But so Cherry, we appreciate you coming on. We know you got a busy schedule. You're making things happening here in Hollywood. I say appreciate you taking the time out to come on, get your popcorn ready today with me and T.O., brother.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. This is a great time, man. Definitely going to check out some of the older episodes too, and going to continue watching moving forward too, man. Y'all are great.
Yeah, appreciate it, no doubt, man. Like I said, I'm for real, man. I shot my shot, man. So like I said,
and like you always do, you missed. Get off.
That's why we can't really. That's why we, as a black community,
as a black people,
we can't grow because of people like you, man. You are a bona fide hater. We gotta stick together, man. We gotta unify. As much as you don't like me, you gotta pretend like you like me.
That's hilarious. You stupid.
You gotta pretend. You know what I mean? We gotta be in all this thing together. You know what I mean?
I liked you in about last night, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you see that hat? They hat. That's where it starts at right there. Little snippets, little small rows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta build it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Go build your resume. Go.
That's what I'm doing.
Build your resume. I mean? Hey, like Tupac said, get your weight up, pay him back when you're bigger.
Yeah. And also, I was in my dad's a soccer mom too. Don't forget that. Go check that out. Come on.
Say that. Wait, say that again. What was that one?
My dad's a soccer mom.
I never heard of that one. That must have been shot in Encino.
Just for everybody that's listening, including my co-host with me, Matthew Hatchett, go IMDb me.
Yep.
Hey, yeah.
Look, dysfunctional friends. Come on now.
Come here. What am I on? Tell them what you saw.
Tell them what daddy on.
What am I on?
My dad's a soccer mom.
That's right.
Yep.
There you go. Good job, beautiful. Good job. All right, Cherry, we appreciate you, brother, man. I love you, brother. I'll see you on set, baby.
I no doubt, man. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for the time.
All right, my man.
For sure.
Peace.
Right. Peace.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good show. My man, Matthew Cherry, Oscar award-winning Matthew Cherry, director, producer, writer here in Los Angeles, and he has changed. Hopefully, the perception. He is changing the perception as what athletes can do in the entertainment business.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, so I guess obviously this kind of segues into our 3 and Out segment, where we kind of identify 3 notable things throughout the interview that really kind of stuck out in our minds. What do you think? I think
number one for me, I think it was like I said in 2016, where he said, he was physically watching the Oscars and he kind of recognized, like I said, it's not just male best actor, male best performance and movie of the year, all those things. It's like a bunch of other categories. And then he called his boy and was like, yo, I think we can make something to win an Oscar. And then 4 years later, he actually goes out and wins the Oscar. That's
right. Yeah, it was an animation. It was animation, right?
Yeah. Yep. For animation, for Hair Love, of course.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was one. Then the second one, I think I said it's it's a humbling experience because, as you know, NFL professional athletes, we don't humble ourselves well. But for him to leave the NFL, start as a PA in the business, which, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, that's the bottom of the bottom. Like you're running and getting coffee and getting donuts for directors, and you might be sweeping the set some days. And
honestly, in football, it's almost like a GA, which is like
absolutely.
Graduate
Absolutely.
assistant. So there was a lot of similarities in those job titles
and to go from there to go all the way up, to take those jobs over and over and over again, and then finally catch a break and start doing some music videos, and then work his way up to writing, directing TV shows, and of course now he won the Oscar. So again, that's starting at the bottom when you are already at the pinnacle of being an NFL player. Right, recalibrated himself, starts at the bottom, then goes and wins the Oscar. Very impressive.
Right.
Very impressive.
No doubt.
So,
and what's the third one?
And then the third one, I think, the third one again, I think that how he said the NFL and the entertainment is kind of the same grind, right? He kind of, like I said, he got his breaks when he has some mentors in the business, like Ava Duvernay, Jordan Peele, like that kind of gave him the information or the confidence to really kind of start chasing his dream. A la, like, again, if you're a coach on a, like you said, a GA on a football staff, you're going to need a head coach who's going to have your back and start getting you recommendations and getting you interviews to, become a position coach, then a coordinator, then a head coach. So again, that consistent grind that he says that's in the NFL is also in the entertainment business.
Right. No doubt. Yeah. And I think, obviously when you get to be an Oscar winner, I mean, that puts you in an elite class of people.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're able to assess and make calls and open doors. Obviously he's in a position now as an Oscar winner to open doors for other people, people like myself, if you were able to act, things of that nature. But yeah, when you're on that level, I mean, you can pick up the phone call.
Sneaky, very sneaky.
Hey, you're an Oscar winner. You can possibly, pick up the phone and get a call to Jack Nicholson.
Oh, easily. Yeah, he get anybody on the phone right now.
Jodie Foster, Sandra Bullock, or Denzel Washington. What I mean? When you start to get those type of accolades, like, it's equivalent to being a Hall of Famer. You can pick up the phone and call it MJ. You can call.
MJ does not want to take your call. MJ does not want to take your call.
Kobe Bryant. I'm just trying to,
If you got LeBron's number right now. You got LeBron's number in your cell phone. You got LeBron's number in your cell phone.
I have a direct access to him if I need it.
I bet you can't call him right now. I bet you can't call him right now.
If I need it right now, within
I bet you I can call him right now. I bet you I can call him right now.
No, you can't call him. You don't have his number.
I'll FaceTime him right now.
No, you ain't finna. Man, let me tell you something. You don't have
I'll FaceTime Bron. We from Cleveland, Ohio. We go way back. We go back 20 years, B.
Whatever, man. You ain't part of that. You ain't. Okay. I ain't saw you hashtag kid from Akron. I ain't saw you do none of that.
I'm not from Akron. I'm from Cleveland. It's Cleveland, Akron.
I haven't seen you do any of that. None of that.
You don't have to. That's how I roll. I roll under the radar.
You claim Ohio because LeBron.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been claiming Sealand in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Cleveland, Ohio.
Now you want to claim Ohio.
The OH10. That's how we get it in.
Man, you about like the city of Cleveland some years ago. Y'all were riding with him when he was there.
We riding right now. We riding right now.
With him.
I'm not a Cavs fan. I could because I was a Bulls fan, but I am from Cleveland, Ohio, and I got you. Yeah. But thank you, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out the show today. Get Your Popcorn Ready podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No doubt, and don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, to check out the video of the show, youtube.com/Terrell Owens.
Yep. If you're trying to find us on our social media, my Instagram is Matthew Hatchett and my Twitter is Hatch89.
And you can find me definitely. Just look for my face. It's just like in a dictionary. You look up handsome, you're gonna see me. But for all those that are listening right now, if you want to find me on all my social media handles, just check me out at Terrell Owens.
Or in the dictionary under trash. Peace.
Yep.
Peace.